Today, as we celebrate the 31st Independence Day of Ukraine, fierce battles rage against the aggressor state Russia, which unleashed a full-scale war, trying to deny the very existence of free, independent and democratic Ukraine, seeking to bring us back to the Soviet Empire, the empire of evil. As of today, on the 6 months of the criminal and barbaric actions of the Russian Federation, thousands of innocent civilians, women, children, elderly have been killed, injured and maimed. Millions fled their homes, seeking refuge in the neighboring countries and here in Canada. Given the atrocities, war crimes and crimes against humanity committed by Russia on a scale not seen in Europe since Second World War, as well as the continuing threat of nuclear disaster posed by Russia's actions, President Zelensky called on the leaders of the democratic world to designate the Russian Federation as a state sponsor of terrorism. We sincerely hope and believe that this call will be supported by the Canadian government and put into action. We are not alone. We are not alone in our struggle. We value the support of our European partners, our friends across the Atlantic, democracies of the Pacific region. Taking this opportunity, I would like to express our gratitude to the Government of Canada for its strong financial, military, humanitarian and moral support of Ukraine. Our thanks also go to the Government of Ontario and the Parliament of Ontario for the program of welcoming and accommodating Ukrainian families, women and children who are arriving to Canada, forced to flee the horrors of war. To millions of Canadians who are demonstrating their solidarity and compassion with Ukrainian people, with those who are in urgent and desperate need of help, a huge thank to you. This support makes us stronger. As we also just celebrated the Day of National Flag, I would also like to repeat the words of our President Vladimir Zelensky. Our national flag has become a global symbol of courage, a symbol of all who value free life. Where there is blue and yellow, there is no and there will be no tyranny. Where there is blue and yellow, there are no and there will be no inhumans. Our flag is everywhere, from the front line where our soldiers are defeating the enemy, and capitals across all continents. And it means one thing everywhere: humanity. And now it is raised here in the heart of Ontario. And thank you all of you. Today our flag is flying freely over many cities and towns across a free Ukraine. And we all believe and are confident that very soon it will be also raised over the liberated Kherson, Mariupol, Lugansk and Donetsk, and finally Crimea. Because we believe in victory, and the victory will be finally ours. I thank you, and Slava Ukraini!
Existential crisis for all Ukrainians. Millions in Ukraine are suffering, and millions more have sought refuge around the world, including here in Canada. And I think it's very important to remember that this is not just a threat to Ukraine's security, to Ukraine's independence, to Ukraine's sovereignty. It's a threat to Canada's security, and it's a threat to global security. And so the Ukrainian people are not just fighting for themselves, not just fighting for their freedom or their independence or their flag. They're fighting for all of us. And we need to fight for them. All of you and I'm looking out at members of the community, have been fighting for them. You've been raising money for humanitarian aid. You've been welcoming people from Ukraine. You've been raising money to send weapons to the Ukrainian military. You've been advocating with MPs and MPPs and others, and please keep doing that. And the Government of Canada has been fighting as well. The Parliament of Canada has been fighting as well. We've sent over $600 million in weapons, most of it heavy weapons, rockets, artillery munitions. We've trained 33,000 Ukrainian soldiers before this war began that are now on the front lines fighting Russia. We've imposed sanctions. We've cut Russia off of SWIFT. We've imposed sanctions on almost 2,000 Russian leaders. support Vladimir Putin in this war. We've put sanctions on large sectors of the Russian economy. We've provided over $300 million in humanitarian aid. We've welcomed over 45,000 people from Ukraine who've come to Canada fleeing this war. And these are important substantive steps. And we should be proud of these steps. But this is not enough. It won't be enough until Ukraine wins the war. And let me be clear. Ukraine winning the war doesn't mean retaking Kherson or defending Kharkiv. It means a decisive victory for Ukraine, which means that Kherson and Kharkiv and Donbass and Crimea are all part of Ukraine. And I and others will keep fighting until that happens. So today, on Ukrainian Independence Day, I hope that we honor not just the heroes who are fighting in Ukraine today. I hope we honor our parents and our grandparents, our great-grandparents, and their sacrifices by redoubling our efforts and strengthening that fight even more. And if we do that, all of us together, Ukraine will win. And when they do, we'll be able to celebrate Ukraine's independence, not for 1 year, not for 31 years, but for generations to come. Here at Queen's Park, in Ukraine, and around the world. Slava Ukraini! And the world. I would like to thank the League of Ukrainian Canadians and the League of Ukrainian Canadian Women for organizing this important event. Please accept my warmest welcome. Signed, Justin Trudeau, Prime Minister of Canada. Дякую дуже. Слава Україні!
MP for Thornhill, Conservative Party of Canada, Vice Chair of the Standing Committee on Transportation and Infrastructure. Ой у лузі червона калина. In English, oh the red viburnum in the meadow.
Ой у лузі червона калина, похилилася, чогось наша славна Україна зажурилася, а ми тую червону калину підіймемо, а ми нашу славну Україну розвеселимо, а ми тую червону калину підіймемо, а ми нашу славну Україну розвеселимо. Вершилися червона калина, маєш білий цвіт, не журися, славна Україна, маєш вільний рік. А ми тую червону калину підіймемо, а ми нашу славну Україну розвеселимо. А ми тую червону калину підіймемо, а ми нашу славну Україну розвеселимо. Марширують наші добровольці у кривавий танк, визволяли братів українців з ворожих кайдан. А ми наших братів українців визволимо, а ми нашу славну Україну розвеселимо. А ми наших братів українців визволимо, а ми нашу славну Україну розвеселимо. Ой, у лузі ярої пшениці, золотистий лан, розпочали стрільці українці з ворогами тан. А ми тую ярою пшеничку і зберемо, а ми нашу славну Україну розвеселимо. А ми тую ярою пшеничку і зберемо, а ми нашу славну Україну